Hi, my name's Adam. Thanks for joining us today and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to cover off part 3 of our New Year's resolution mini-series. Today we're going to talk about insuring for catastrophe. So in week 1 we talked about budgeting, week 2 we talked about your credit score, and today we're going to be talking about insuring not just your life but everything in your life and the importance of doing so. If you haven't already joined our Unlocking Your Financial Health course, it's absolutely free. There's a link below. Make sure you click that link, join our course. It will help you with your New Year's resolutions. We've set out some guides, some templates, some tips and tricks on how to conquer your New Year's resolutions in 2021. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hit the notification bell. We release a new video every Tuesday and Friday. Tuesday is our mini series, and Friday is kind of a hot financial topic of the week that we're going to go through, talk about, and give our opinion and thoughts on. So insuring for catastrophe. So 2 questions I have for you. If you passed away suddenly, would your loved ones be taken care of financially? If yes, how? If no, is that a concern to you? It should be. And number 2 is if you couldn't work because of illness or injury, how are your bills getting paid? Do you have another income stream that will keep paying your bills if you can't go to work every day? These are 2 core questions I want you to think about heading into 2021. And the reason for that is because we want to make sure that we can build a financial plan, we can save for retirement. But if something unexpected comes up, we want to make sure that you're protected. It's part of your overall financial plan. So we want to make sure that we insure for that catastrophe, because as we saw in 2020, things can happen that we just don't kind of put into our plan. So we need to make sure we insure and protect against those unforeseen circumstances. Heading into 2021, we also want to reevaluate all of our insurances. So life, critical illness, disability, home, auto, pet insurance, and any other types of insurances that you may have. Do you rent? If you do you have renter's insurance? What are you paying for it? When did you review it last? Is it the right coverage for you? So let's go through all your coverages in January, February this year, review them, make sure that they still meet your needs and that you're also paying a fair and competitive price, because things constantly change. So you want to continue to review, small and large coverages along the way. A big trend in 2020 was to buy a pet, mainly a dog. So many people we knew bought a dog, including Tammy from our office. So dogs are great. I grew up with a dog in my house. One of the spikes that we've seen with pets over the last year as well is not just getting a pet, but insuring a pet. So the average cost monthly for pet insurance is $42 a month. Okay, so many of us are spending $40, $50, $60, $70 a month just for pet insurance. But we may not even have insurance on our own lives. So let's take a step back. Let's get insurance for us before our pets. Again, the average cost for insurance on your dog is $42 a month. The average cost for a life insurance term policy on a 40-year-old female is $30 a month. So insurance on you could be much less than insurance on your pet. And if something happens to you, there's a way larger financial impact than if something happens to your dog. So I'm not saying don't insure your pet. I'm just saying let's make sure you have insurance on yourself before you get it on your pet. The second part of that is if you're insuring your pet and you also have kids, have you insured your kids? Again, let's review the financial hardship if something happens. If you lose a kid, or if your child becomes critically ill, there's probably a larger financial impact than if something happened to your pet. Again, insure your pet, but make sure you look to insure your children first. So let's prioritize this. Let's go back to the 2 core questions I asked earlier. If you passed away suddenly, are your loved ones taken care of financially? If the answer is yes, then perfect. That means that you've put insurance in place or you have a large savings account in place to help replace your income if you pass away prematurely. If you say no to that question, then you need to meet with your financial planner and put a plan in place. Buy some insurance. Life insurance doesn't have to be confusing. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be cheap and simple. You just need to have something in place that if something happens to you that you don't foresee, that your loved ones, that your family are taken care of. Maybe you have debts in place. You need to make sure that you're not leaving debt to your spouse, to your kids, to your parents, whoever it is that's going to be taking that on. It's not fair to them to take on your debt if you pass away prematurely. So for a few dollars a month, you can take care of that. So make sure you look into that and get that protection in place. Now, the second core question was, if you couldn't work because of injury or illness, how are your bills being paid? Now, let me ask you, what job would you rather have? Job A that pays you $80,000, but if you became disabled, you would have $0 income. Or job B, where you make $79,000, so only $1,000 less, but if you became disabled, you would still make $55,000. Which job would you rather have? For me, it's a no-brainer. I would way rather have job B, where I make a little bit less, but if something happened to me, there's income coming in to pay my bills, to provide for my family. To me, that's so important. But if you prefer to have zero income if something happened to you, then that's on you. But maybe look to get some disability in place to replace that income stream if you became disabled, again, due to injury or illness. Let me ask you one more question. If you had a machine in your basement that created $100 bills, would you insure that machine? Think about that for a second. A machine in your basement that just constantly created $100 bills that you could go spend. Well, that's you. That's you generating an income. Of course you'd insure that machine. You need to insure yourself. Many of us bypass this, I'm not gonna get hurt, I'm not gonna get injured, I live a safe life. We don't know what life's gonna throw at us. Make sure you protect against the unforeseen. So we've talked a bit about insuring against a catastrophe in this video. So life insurance and disability insurance on the personal side are so important. Make sure you have those covered. If you have disability and maybe even some life insurance at work, have them reviewed. A lot of work coverages only pay for 2 years, maybe up to 5 years. After that, you're either going to be cut off or forced back to a job you may not want to work at. With life insurance, most work plans only give you $25,000, maybe $50,000, $100,000. So make sure you get that topped up to an amount that you see appropriate to replace your income if something did happen to you. Again, life insurance can be cheap and simple and easy, but just get something in place. The start of the year is also a great time to review your home, auto, and any other insurances that you have. So take a few minutes, review your policies, review your pricing, and if you feel that you're paying a bit too high or the coverage isn't right for you, talk to your insurance advisor and see what other options are out there for you. So heading into 2021, let's make sure catastrophe doesn't derail your plan. The whole idea of insurance is to make sure that the plan you put in place doesn't become derailed if the unforeseen actually does happen. There's not many people I've met that enjoy paying an insurance premium. We understand that, but it's an essential part of your plan. Whether it's home, auto, life, disability, doesn't matter what type of insurance, you buy the insurance because what if can happen, and it does happen to people. So let's insure against that and make sure 2021 doesn't get derailed in any way. Thanks so much for joining us today. Again, if you haven't downloaded and joined our course, Unlocking Your Financial Health, there's a link below. It's absolutely free. We'd love for you to be part of that course and learn more about how to succeed and conquer your 2021 New Year's resolutions. Next week, in our final week, week 4 of our mini-series, we're going to talk about how to use your skills and knowledge to start creating income for yourself passively in 2021. So make sure to join us for that.